A samosa, or samoosa, is a fried or baked dish with a savory filling, such as spiced potatoes, onions, peas, lentils, macaroni, noodles or minced meat. Pine nuts can also be added. Its size and consistency may vary, but typically it is distinctly triangular or tetrahedral in shape. Indian samosas are usually vegetarian and often accompanied by a mint sauce chutney. Samosas are a popular entree, appetizer or snack in the local cuisines of the Indian subcontinent, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Southwest Asia, the Arabian Peninsula, the Mediterranean, the Horn of Africa, East Africa and North Africa. Due to cultural diffusion and emigration from these areas, samosas in today's world are also prepared in other regions. Name variation. Samosa is generally used in the Indian subcontinent and Southeast Asia. Other names are used in other areas: Sulhati, Samosa or samsa in Turkish Central Asia and Turkey, sambusa and Tajiks, sanbize, samosha, sambosa or chamuka. In eastern India, a similar dish is called Shing Aras, Bengali, Shing Aras, Sulhati, Shing Aras, Singra in Assamese, Odia, Shingada. Etymology. The word samosa can be traced to the sanbozag. The pastry name in other countries can also derive from this root, such as the crescent-shaped sanpusak or sanbusaj in the Arab world, sambosa in Afghanistan, samosa in India, sambusa in Tajikistan, samsa by Turkish-speaking nations, sambusa in the Horn of Africa, and chamuka in Goa, Mozambique and Portugal. While they are currently referred to as sambusak in the Arabic-speaking world, medieval Arabic recipe books sometimes spell it sambusaj. History. The samosa is claimed to have originated in the Middle East prior to the 10th century. Abul Fazl Bayhaqi, an Iranian historian, mentioned it in his history, Tarikh-i-Bayhaqi. Samosas were introduced to the Indian subcontinent in the 13th or 14th century by traders from Central Asia. Amir Khusro, a scholar and the royal poet of the Delhi Sultanate, wrote in around 1300 that the princes and nobles enjoyed the samosa prepared from meat, ghee, onion and so on. Ibn Battuta, a 14th-century traveler and explorer, describes a meal at the court of Muhammad bin Tufluk, where the samushik or sambusak, a small pie stuffed with minced meat, almonds, pistachios, walnuts and spices, was served before the third course of pulao. The Ain-i-Akbari, a 16th-century Mughal document, mentions the recipe for kutab, which it says the people of Hindustan call sanbiza. Regional varieties. Regions where the dish serves as a staple of local cuisine have different ways of preparing it. South Asia. Samosas were brought to India by various Muslim merchants, and patronized under various Islamic dynasties in the region. Samosas from South Asia are now world-renowned, and are probably the most popular type of samosas in the market. India. The samosa contains wheat flour, made of flour shell stuffed with some filling, generally a mixture of mashed boiled potato, onions, green peas, spices and green chili. The entire pastry is then deep-fried to a golden brown color in vegetable oil. It is served hot and is often eaten with fresh Indian chutney, such as mint, coriander or tamarind. It can also be prepared as a sweet form, rather than as a savory one. Samosas are often served in chaat, along with the traditional accompaniments of yogurt, chutney, chopped onions, coriander, and chaat masala. In Delhi, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Uttarakhand, and other northern states of India, a bigger version of the samosa with a spicy filling of masala potatoes, peas, crushed green chilies, and even dried fruits, as well as other variations, is quite popular. The samosa is bigger compared to other Indian and foreign variants. In Odisha, West Bengal and Jharkhand, Shing Aras are popular snacks. They are found almost everywhere. Shing Aras are easy to make, but the folding is a little tricky and many people do not know how to fold and make Shing Aras. Shing Aras are a bit smaller compared to those in other parts of India, and the filling mainly consists of small pieces of potato and unmashed boiled potato, along with the addition of other ingredients. They are wrapped in a thin dough and fried. The coating is of white flour, not wheat flour, and it is slightly sweet in taste. What distinguishes good Shing Aras are flaky textures, almost as if they are made with a savory pie crust. Usually, Shing Aras are deep fried to a golden brown color in vegetable oil. They are served hot and consumed with ketchup or chutney, such as mint, coriander or tamarind. Shing Aras are often served in chaat, along with the traditional accompaniments of yogurt, chutney, chopped onions, coriander, and chaat masala. Usually, Shing Aras are eaten during the tea time as tiffin. They can also be prepared as a sweet form, rather than as a savory one. Bengali Shing Aras tend to be triangular, filled with potato, peas, onions, diced almonds, or other vegetables, and are more heavily fried and crunchier than either Shingara or their Indian samosa cousins. Fulkopir Shingara is another very popular variation. In Bengal, there are non-vegetarian varieties of Shingara called Mangsha Shingara and Maka Shingara. There are also sweeter versions, such as Narkal Shingara, as well as others filled with coir and dipped in sugar syrup. In Hyderabad, India, a smaller version of the samosa with a thicker pastry crust and mincemeat filling, referred to as lakme, is consumed, as is another variation with an onion filling. In South India, samosas are slightly different, in that they are folded in a different way, much more like Portuguese chamucas, with a different style pastry. The filling also differs, typically featuring mashed potatoes with spices, fried onions, peas, carrots, cabbage, curry leaves, green chilies, etc. It is mostly eaten without chutney. Samosas in South India come in different sizes, and fillings are greatly influenced by the local food habits. It can include many variety of fillings, such as meats and vegetables. Samosas made with a spiced mashed potato mixture are quite popular in the South Indian states of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Bangladesh. Both flat-shaped and full-shaped samosas are popular snacks in Bangladesh. The Bengali version of the full-shaped samosa is called a shingara and is normally much smaller than the standard Indian variety. The shingara is usually filled with pieced potatoes and vegetables. However, shingaras filled with beef liver are very popular in some parts of the country. The flat-shaped samosa is called a samosas and is usually filled with onions and minced meat. Nepal samosas are called singadas in eastern zone of Nepal. Rest of the country calls it samosa. As in India, it is a very popular snack in Nepalese cuisine. Vendors sell the dish in various markets and restaurants. Burma samosas are called samosas in Burmese, and are an extremely popular snack in Burma. Pakistan samosas of various types are available all over Pakistan. In general, most samosa varieties sold in the southern Sindh province and in the eastern Punjab, especially the city of Lahore, are spicier and mostly contain vegetable or potato-based fillings. On the other hand, the samosas sold in the west and north of the country mostly contain minced meat-based fillings and are comparatively less spicy. The meat samosa contains minced meat and are very popular as snack food in Pakistan. In Pakistan, samosas of Karachi are famous for the spicy flavor, whereas samosas from Faisalabad are noted for being unusually large. Another distinct variety of samosa available in Karachi is called Kaghazi samosa due to its thin and crispy covering, which resembles a wonton, a spring roll wrapper. Another variant, popular in Punjab, consists of samosas with side dishes of mashed spiced chickpeas, onions, and coriander salad, as well as various chutneys to top the samosas. The samosas are a fried or baked pastry with a savoury filling, such as spiced potatoes, onions, peas, lentils, and minced meat. Maldives. In the Maldives, the type of samosa made in Maldivian cuisine is known as bhajia. It is filled with a mixture, which includes Maldive fish, tuna and onions. Central Asia. In Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Xinjiang, samosas are known as samosas. They are almost always baked and never fried. The traditional samosa is often baked in the tandoor, which is a special clay oven. The dough can be a simple bread dough, or a layered pastry dough. The most common filling for traditional samosa is a mixture of minced lamb and onions, but chicken, minced beef, and cheese varieties are also quite common from street vendors. Samosas with other fillings, such as potato or pumpkin, can also be found. In Central Asia, samosas are often sold on the streets as a hot snack. They are sold at kiosks, where only samosas are made, or alternatively at kiosks where other fast foods are sold. Many grocery stores also buy samosas from suppliers and resell them. Indonesia. The local equivalent of samosas in Indonesia are known as pastel. They are usually filled with eggs, minced beef or chicken. Horn of Africa. Samosas are a staple of local cuisine in the Horn of Africa, where they are known as sambusa. While they can be eaten any time of the year, they are usually reserved for special occasions, such as Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha and weddings. Israel. In Israel, a sambusa is a semicircular pocket of dough filled with mashed chickpeas, fried onions and spices. There is another variety filled with meat, fried onions, parsley, spices and pine nuts, which is sometimes mixed with mashed chickpeas, and breakfast version with feta-Its, fat cheese and zarata. It is associated with Mizrahi Jewish cuisine. An Israeli sambusa is not as spicy as the Indian version. According to Gil Marks, an Israeli food historian, sambusa has been a traditional part of the Sephardic Sabbath meal since the 13th century. Portuguese-speaking regions in Goa and Portugal, samosas are known as chamucas. They are usually filled with chicken, beef, pork, lamb or vegetables, and generally served quite hot. Samosas are an integral part of Goan and Portuguese cuisine, where they are a common snack. A samosa-inspired snack is also very common in Brazil, and relatively common in several former Portuguese colonies in Africa, including Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, São Tomé and Príncipe, Angola and Mozambique, where they are more commonly known as pastéis or empadas. They are related to the Hispanic empanada and to the Italian calzone. English-speaking regions. Samosas are popular in Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda, South Africa, Kenya and Tanzania, and are also growing in popularity in the United Kingdom, Canada, and the United States. They may be called sambusa or sambusak, but in South Africa, they are often called samousa. Frozen samosas are increasingly available from grocery stores in Canada, the United States, and the United Kingdom. At McGill University in Montreal, samosas are seen as a staple of students' diets and are accordingly used as a common fundraising item daily. While samosas are traditionally fried, many Westerners prefer to bake them, as this is viewed as more convenient and more healthful by some diners. Variations using phyllo or flour tortillas are sometimes used.